Yo, what is going on, New York Giants fans? It is your man R0B, and we got a big time video for you today. Some breaking news in regarding to some of these 2024 NFL draft prospects, mainly the quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this video. Yo, what is going on, New York Giants fans? It is your man R0B, back at it with another New York Giants video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over these 2024 NFL draft prospects. And we're going to be talking about the quarterbacks. Now, we're not going to be talking about all of them because some of them I kind of feel are out of reach and may not be available for us, or some of which I feel the Giants may not be interested in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into that. But before we do me a quick favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. It does help the videos get noticed. Smash that subscribe button. Turn on those bell notifications so that you never miss another upload. Let's go ahead and we'll jump right into it. So last week, there was some big time pro days that happened last week prior to Easter. You had Drake May and Michael Penix that had a pro day on the same day. The week prior, or a few days prior, you had J.J. McCarthy that went ahead and had his pro day. And obviously, these are the quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, all having pro days. I believe Jaden Daniels was about a week and a half ago. But there was some really interesting stuff that happened last week, and we're gonna go into it and we're gonna talk about it. So, after J.J. McCarthy's pro day, and the Giants have been meeting extensively with J.J. McCarthy. They met with him at the Combine, obviously. They had a private dinner, which Jordan Schultz went ahead and reported. So they had a dinner meeting with him. Then they went ahead and went to his pro day and spoke with him extensively. And they also set up a private workout. Now, when you're seeing this video, they already had the private workout with J.J. McCarthy. So they sent some contingents over to Ann Arbor, Michigan this past Sunday on Easter to go ahead and have a private workout with J.J. McCarthy. Now, when it comes to Drake May, I don't believe that the Giants were represented at Drake May's pro day. Now, they did meet with him extensively at the Combine. They did speak with him, and they scheduled a private workout. Now, when that private workout is, I am not 100%. I do not believe that it's happened yet, or it may have. It is Wednesday, and so it's very well possible that it may have happened. But they do have a private workout scheduled for Drake May. And Michael Penix, he had his pro day the exact same day, and the New York Giants were in full representation of quarterback Michael Penix. Joe Shane was there, Brian Dable was there, Mike Kafka was there, Shea Tierney was there, Brandon Brown was there, Tim McDonald was there, and their wide receivers coach was there. They had 7 representations there at the pro day for Washington, and Rome Odunze didn't even partake in the pro day. So, now Albert Breer reported that, during the pro day that the Giants talked extensively with Rome Odunze. They seemed to be really speaking with him. But then it was later reported that the Giants went out to dinner with Michael Penix after the pro day. So they went out to dinner with Michael Penix after his pro day, and they also scheduled for him to come in for a final 30 visit. Now, no private workout has been reported yet. Will they do it? Could they do it? Sure. Will they do it? I don't know. But that is up for grabs here. Now, when we're talking about the New York Giants and the 6th overall pick, yes, are there possibilities of them taking a wide receiver? Sure. I'm not going to say that there are not possibilities of them taking a wide receiver. But here on this channel, I'm not going to I want to go a different direction, right? With some of these, you know, things that I say here, and the reason why I want to go different is because I don't feel I'm going to tell you what you need to hear here on this channel and what's important for the New York Giants based on a couple of things. One, the way I view the team and what I feel is important. And two, what I believe that you, most of the fans, feel that it's important, right? And would it be great to have one of these wide receivers? Absolutely. But I don't feel that right now, with where we're at as an organization, that it is smart to put a wide receiver over one of these quarterbacks. Now, the difference or the disagreements with inside the Giants fan base are in regards to how they view or value these quarterbacks. With Michael Penix, there's a lot of concerns about his injuries. But the guy's been healthy for 2 years. His medical's cleared at the combine, and he's also going to be brought in for a final 30 visit. And the Giants doctors will get a look at him and will medically evaluate him. But there's no denying, and I feel this very, very strongly about Michael Penix, that if the injuries were not a case, Michael Penix would be the second best quarterback in this draft and arguably make a push to be, and I think would push Caleb to be the best quarterback in this draft. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, right? You may not agree with it. You might laugh at me, but I think that Michael Penix is that good. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he throws a beautiful ball. He's very intelligent. The X's and O's. He can dissect it. He can do a lot of things at the line of scrimmage. Um, he can get the ball out of his hands quickly. He's just a special player. And I want to give a big shout out to some of my friends that we do weekly or not or daily spaces. Guys like 1T, Sal, Monty, and a couple of others, that really were always bringing up this guy Michael Penix, and they said, "Yo, go take a look at this kid. Go watch this kid." Because I was, a big Drake May fan. I love Drake May. I think he's a great prospect. Would love to have him on the Giants. And they brought up Michael Penix, and this was earlier in the year, while the season was still going on, probably midway through. They said, go check out this guy Michael Penix, and just watching some of his highlights and some of his tape. He, I was like, man, this guy is phenomenal. This guy's phenomenal. So, look, right now, I think with the stage where the Giants are at, the Giants seriously need to be, and they are seriously looking at these quarterbacks. And I think at this particular point in time, you have a quarterback like Daniel Jones, right, who you just signed to a 4-year deal, but the only thing that he's proven, right, the only thing that is certain and that is consistent is that he cannot finish an NFL season, and he's constantly hurt. He's gotten, 2 neck injuries in the last 3 years. He just tore his ACL last year. Your availability is your best ability. And right now, his availability is not there. And so there are people that still have hope for Daniel Jones, that he'll come back and he'll resurrect his career and be this dominant player. And they want to get Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze, or they think that, Marvin Harrison. There are some Giants fans that even advocate for teams to jump us, and that 4 quarterbacks go in the first 4 picks, and that one of these receivers fall to the New York Giants, and that would be, their, that's their, dream scenario, right? And to me, if you're a Giants fan and you're hoping for that, hey, you know what? That's fine. But to me, that's no way to think logically, in my opinion. Strictly, and what you're doing is you're acting in a way as you just don't like one of these quarterback prospects. And I'd rather people say that, right? I'd rather say, look, I'm not a fan, outside of the top 3, right? I'm not a fan outside of these top 3: Caleb, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. I'm not a fan of these other guys, and I would prefer that another team jump up and go ahead and and that take the 4th best quarterback or 5th best quarterback in this draft, and we go ahead and get a bona fide talent at the wide receiver position versus saying, not really saying that and just saying, I hope that teams jump up ahead of the Giants so that one of these receivers fall to us. And maybe that's kind of saying the same thing, but I mean, you're not really specifying it, right? But you're not specifying that you don't like JJ McCarthy, right? Um, and look, there's nothing really not to like about JJ McCarthy. Now, with JJ, the big knock on him is that, he hasn't really shown a lot on tape like a Michael Penix has, like a Drake May has, and there's a lot of unknowns there. But the kid can play football. He's smart. He's intelligent. Players at college, they love playing for him. He's got a great personality. And I think there's a lot of untapped potential when it comes to JJ McCarthy. And I like him as a prospect. And I think that's a guy that if, comes in, he wants to win and he's going to do whatever he's got to do to, to win inside your organization. Why wouldn't you want somebody like that, right? Um, but, you know, in regards to, the prospects here, right? Caleb Williams, he's going to go number one. And I was always a big Caleb Williams fan. That was the guy that I really, really wanted and had hope up until Justin Fields got traded. And so to me, Caleb Williams is right now is the best quarterback in this draft. And he's going to go number one. And at number two, I'm leaning towards the Washington Commanders taking Jaden Daniels. I really am. I think that he fits their scheme. I think he fits their system. I think that, he would come in and be an impactful player for them. You got Cliff Kingsbury that's over there, and they can run a very similar system. It does fit him. Um, they can run a very similar offense to what he did with Kyler Murray when Kyler, was drafted to Arizona. Very similar skill set, if not more skilled, and at least in the running aspect. And I think that they could do some good things there with Jaden Daniels in Washington. I feel like that's a good fit. Now, there are some people in Washington, they want Drake May, and they think Drake May is going to go there. I don't believe that Drake May is going to go there. I believe it's going to be Jaden Daniels. That's who I believe that it is. Now, I could be wrong on that, but my opinion is that I think that Jaden Daniels, is going to go number two to the Washington Commanders, which now leaves the possibility of these three other quarterbacks: Drake May, Michael Penix, and J.J. McCarthy. And when you look at from pick number 3 to where we're at 6, I think if Drake May falls and the Patriots are on the clock, I have a feeling that the Patriots may not keep the pick. I think the Patriots also would really like Jaden Daniels. There were reports that, came out that Bill Belichick was very high on Jaden Daniels, loved Jaden Daniels as a prospect. Now, Bill Belichick's not a part of the New York Giants. I'm sorry, about the New England Patriots. But, does Gerard Mayo feel the same way? Did he share that opinion with Bill Belichick? And so I think if Jaden Daniels is not on the board, there's a strong possibility that maybe that the New England Patriots trade out of that third overall pick. And I think that opens up the door for the Giants to maybe move up to 3. Well, let's just say that they do decide to stay there. I think a guy that they may go with would be like a J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. Tom Brady was from Michigan. I don't want to make the comparisons, but they are familiar with Michigan quarterbacks. But I think that JJ is a guy that they may like. They may be able to sit behind a Jacoby Brissett for a year or two, let Jacoby play as they build up the roster, and go from there. But I don't, and I forgot who reported this, who said it. Not really reported it, but gave their opinion on it, and said, it's they wouldn't be shocked, with the lack of talent with the New England Patriots. Do you want to bring a young quarterback, or is it the time to bring in a young quarterback now and resetting your quarterback clock now with the lack of talent that you have on the roster? Should they take a quarterback? Absolutely. They need it. They should take one. Will they? I don't know. And that remains to be seen. But in regards to the three quarterbacks that the Giants really seem to be interested in, which is Drake May setting up a private workout, JJ McCarthy, and Michael Penix bringing him in for a final 30 visit. Yeah, they I believe also brought in Jaden Daniels for a 30 visit, but the contingents that they sent out to the Michael Penix Pro Day was way higher than Jaden was. So for me, I view as Jaden and Caleb as not available in my mind because I'm convinced that they're going 1-2. In my mind, I'm convinced they're going 1-2, so I'm not really going to entertain um, the fact that Jaden, is going to be available. Could he? Sure, but in my mind, I'm not entertaining that because I believe that he's going to go second to the Washington Commanders. And so, look, when you look at these three quarterbacks, to me, Drake May is 100% worth trading up for. And if you can get up to that third overall pick, I would 100% do that. Drake May is a raw player, right? He's got he's got strong arm talent. He's big. He runs hard, but he does have a lot of things that he needs to work on. All of these quarterbacks do. And I think when you look at Drake May, I think that they do see a lot of a young Josh Allen, right? Um, and that they would be able to, maybe mold him and do a lot of the same things that they did with Josh, do with Drake. I think when you look at a guy like Michael Penix is another guy that, to me, if you bring Michael Penix in now, I think he's the most pro ready out of all of these quarterbacks that are coming out right now. He's the most pro ready. And I think that he's a guy that can come in and he can start winning games for your organization. Um, and so if they want to reset at that quarterback clock, but they want to also win and compete, and they want a guy that can start right now, Michael Penix is the guy that you should go with. But if they want a guy that they can sit behind a Daniel Jones for a year, or sit behind a Drew Lock for a year, or work work him into the starting role, then Drake May would be a good guy too as well. With JJ, I wouldn't mind JJ. JJ to me is another prospect similar to, Drake May, right? You could probably sit him for a year or two if you need to, and allow him to be a sponge, allow him to learn, allow him to work with Mike Kafka, allow him to work with Brian Dable, really, understand and get to know the nuances of the offense and the nuances of the league, right? What works, what doesn't work, and allow him to come in and then, let him be ready, right? I wouldn't mind either one of those two guys either. So, look, I think right now the Giants are in a really good position. You have, you're possibly going to get your hands on one of these three guys. It really just comes down to what do the Giants like, right? Who do the Giants like? And where they're going to go. And we're going to get those answers. It's, the third, right? So we've got 22 days until the first night of the draft. And it's going to be interesting. Again, could the Giants go wide receiver? Absolutely. I will entertain an aspect where the Giants could go wide receiver. And it could be just strictly due to who they like, who's on the board. I will not advocate and say that the Giants have a lot of holes, so we shouldn't trade up to 3 and give away draft capital to go and get Drake May if the Patriots are willing to trade because we have a lot of holes and we need a number 1 wide receiver and we need a corner and we need another lineman and we need a backup linebacker and we need this and we need that. Like I'm not entertaining that. I'm not going to say that to you. Like if the Giants are in a spot right now, and I'm going to do a video on this where I'm kind of assessing where the roster is, the wide receiver room, give my opinion on that. But, I think right now the Giants are in prime striking distance to land one of these three guys. And I think either one of these three guys has the potential to change your organization. Will they? I don't know. That's the beauty of it, right? You're never going to know. But all three of these guys are worth the risk. All three of these guys are worth the squeeze. And you got to be able to make those things happen, right? So if Drake May is Joe Shane's guy and that's who they're committing to, and that's the number one guy on their board, and the Patriots are up for trade, or the Patriots draft another quarterback, or the Patriots draft a wide receiver, you need to make. I would be on the phone with, Austin Fort, and I would be making a deal. I'd be making a deal. So, um, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think, how you guys feel. You know, what position are you thinking or hoping that the Giants go with the sixth overall pick? Do you think that the Giants move back? Do you think they move up? What quarterbacks do you like that are in this draft? Let me know down in the comments. All right. I appreciate you guys rocking with me on this video, and and hearing me out. And I love the fact that I'm doing content again. I really am. I'm having a blast. I know I'm a little bit behind on some of these things, but but just bear with me. I want to try to get back up to speed here. But like I said, I appreciate you guys rocking with me today. Be sure to go ahead and like the video. It does help the videos get noticed a lot. And do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications so that you never miss another upload. I'm R0B, signing off. Go Giants.